for a while now, I've been seeing a lot of content, on the YouTube streets about people making about Kevin Samuels. And maybe about a year or so ago, before Kevin Samuels, his page started growing, he did an interview on our channel. And what me and Kevin had talked about at the time was, brothers competing out here, because brothers a lot of times don't want to compete as they should. Brothers got to, know that this is a dog-eat-dog world, and we got to compete as men. In that interview, he also talked about, how, men, when they dress a certain way, they view the certain, and that's true. When you are dressed a certain way, people look at you, one way, or when you dress another way. People say it shouldn't matter, but it don't matter what you say. It's the way the world works. Now, if you don't like the way the world works, you be the change, and you change that perception, right? A lot of people, repeat what Kevin says about people who make six-figure salaries. He used a term, in his platform called high value man. Now, my, definition of value, may be a little different than his definition, right? Because I believe that in order to have value, you must benefit others. I mean, if you're making 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures, or whatever you're making, if you're just making the money for yourself and you're not benefiting others, and what kind of value do you have? My thing is, what are you doing with, the money that you have? What are you, building people up? Are you, training the next generation? What are you doing? Because if you just, I got money, look at me, then that really, to me, that's not any kind of value. But that's, like I said, that's the way I think. That's like my opinion. Kevin is welcome to have his opinion on things. Now, he talks a lot about the dating world, right? And, when you making, a 6-figure salary or more, right? As a man, you at $25,000 a year, okay? I remember feeling a certain way at $25,000. I felt there were certain, women I couldn't talk to at that stage of my life when I was younger. I felt certain places I couldn't go. I didn't have the self-esteem, right? Because I was making that amount of money. Is not much resources to it at all. Now, when you cross over, to that other tax bracket, when you're making 6 figures and things like that, and you start having 6-figure people problems. When people are in a different realm, when they're not happy about tax time, they're like, oh my God, here I got to go again, trying to pay, the IRS. Then, you're dealing with, other people problems, right? And when you like us, we establish our company, we're doing okay. So I can relate to both sides of that conversation. And I will tell you, I have more confidence at this level on a whole lot more things. And because I worked my butt off to get it. Okay. Nobody gave me crap. And we also make sure that at our level, we spread that to others. You understand what I'm saying? So I can relate to both sides of the coin. But when you are at that level, let's say you're a single man, you're going to be more confident. Your self-esteem definitely going to be more higher. Because now you have, within yourself, you have the resources, that you could buy maybe certain things if you choose to, right? Now everybody spend money like that. That you don't have to put up with any old woman. You can choose whatever women you want to. Certain areas you go to, a certain kind of women in those areas, right? When a man is making $24,000, $30,000 a year, he kind of got to put up with whatever he can afford. You understand? So certain things that Kevin is saying in that level is actually true in the area. You into dating, right? I don't believe, me personally, just me, I don't believe your value. Like I said, you got to be valuable to others, right? And I don't think if a person don't make a certain amount of money, the brother is, not valuable, because the brother could be in a process and transition to that. Especially you got a good idea and he's a good man. But the main thing I'm making this video about is not so much about Kevin's content. And I spoke to Kevin many times behind the scenes before. One thing I can tell you about Kevin, hasn't changed anything he said. It's nothing new. He's been talking this way for a long time. But one thing I noticed, some people, and I've been paying attention to this for a little while, on these YouTube streets, let me tell y'all, because I can relate to that too. I can really relate to this. You see, we got a crabs in a barrel mentality in the black community. And instead of celebrating a brother or sister for their growth, you may not agree with their content. You may not agree with them personally. That's fine. You don't have to. If you don't agree with their content, you don't have to watch it. No one is forcing you to watch no one's content on YouTube or any social media page. That's first and foremost. But the crabs in the barrel mentality comes from people watching this brother, have a lot of people on his live streams. And then that internal crab in the barrel mentality. Well, I've been on this platform this long. I don't get that many. How could he pop up all of a sudden and get this many people? He ain't talking about nothing that's like I haven't said before. I've been saying that. And how is it they're listening to him? Or he taking what I say. I said that before him. I was saying this and let me say something about that. When you sit up here and say someone is taking from you, and I said this before, and look, they copying everything I say, you make yourself look real bad doing that. And let me explain to you why. You, the originator, allegedly, the originator of what you're saying. And you mean to tell me you was the originator of whatever you were saying all this time. And you let a guy that you didn't know listen to what you said, and then he started allegedly repeating what you said, and he took your original thing you said, and now he's being praised for it? Well, why is it that you aren't being praised for what you said? Why is it that you didn't know what to do with your own words? How is it another man knew what to do with your own words, or another woman knew what to do with your own words? It don't make you sound too good when you do that. I've been there, done that too. I've had others say in the past about he's just copying me, my style, my this, my that. Well, what if it was yours? Why you didn't do nothing with it all that time? How could I come along and then say something you said and getting above you? How is that happening? So please, saying things like that, that's not a good look. It's just not. Okay, I understand that brother's in his own lane with that, and I seen brothers, one brother, I'm not going to be mentioning the names because I'm going to get to Umar later. This one brother, I think it was Kev on stage. Yeah, I think it was him. I don't understand the allure of Kevin Samuels. Well, what? So can somebody tell me what's the allure about him? That doesn't sound good, brother. Asking what's the allure of another man. Why are you worried about what that brother doing? Do you? Do your platform. But no, they're crab in a barrel mentality. You see the brother getting some numbers. He getting some interviews. He doing whatever he's doing. And it eats you up because in your mind, you're saying, why is it him, not me? I mean, I sound better. I'm more experienced. I'm more, charismatic. I'm this, I'm that. I've had people say that about me. Oh, he sounds so country. I'm this. Why him, not me? I've had that. So I definitely can relate to that mess where people saying all this stuff about you, looking for any old thing to try to discredit you from what you're doing. I seen them bringing pictures of that brother from high school and talking about, whatever he was doing in high school to try to discredit him. I've been there. Making all these videos about it and all it and y'all don't even realize all them videos you making of that brother, you giving him free promo, and you doing it for free. You working for him for free. Have you realized that? All you did was put his name more in the search engine. People didn't even know who he was. And then now, because of your mouth, now they know who he is. You just work for him for free. Now you're getting paid for marketing. You understand how that works? But now let's get to Mr. Umar Johnson here. Now, Umar Johnson don't like me. He don't like me, and that's fine. Okay? It's fine. No problem. Because I've called Umar out on his BS, and I was right. I was right on everything I said about him. I didn't have to eat crow on nothing I said years ago, and I still got the video. And he got in his feelings about what I said, but I was right. Okay? He makes a video saying that he don't like the way Kevin Samuels talked to the sisters or about the sisters, and he's so harsh, she's so this, and all that. Okay, let me tell you another thing about what's going on with some of these brothers, and why they coming at Kevin Samuels. See, they want the attention of black women on social media, and they see all these black women over there with Kevin, calling this show, whatever they're doing with Kevin. And some of these brothers are on, monetization of that attention. You understand what I'm saying? And so they viewing, hey, if all those women over there, Kevin is getting more bread because of all those women over there. They're not over here with me. But at the same time, Umar was around a lot longer than Kevin. Umar has been on the Breakfast Club and all over the world Umar has been to. So why in the world are you worried about Kevin Samuels and what he's saying? Oh, well, he's talking bad about the women and he's doing this and he's doing that. Well, you know what? From what I see on his show, Kevin talks to them. I don't agree on everything how Kevin talked to people, because I wouldn't do it. But Kevin talks to him in a way, to a point, like their daddy should have talked to him. And a lot of people in the black community had a daddy around. So they literally call it Kevin Samuels asking daddy questions. I'm just being honest with you. They ask him so many questions that you should be asking your daddy, not another man online. You understand? But this is not about, with some of these dudes, this is not about protecting black women, some of them. You're just using black women and trying to stir them up, the ones that don't like Kevin Samuels. No, you're only using black women's name because you take an issue because he's getting a lot of attention with black women. He's getting numbers. He's getting this, subscribers. He's going on, different shows, and you're not being invited on them as much. You understand what I'm saying? Now, once again, Umar, yes, he was on the Breakfast Club. I don't see how you don't benefit from that. You don't think I would? He's been on the Breakfast Club more than once. You think I couldn't benefit from the Breakfast Club? I ain't been on there. I've been mentioned on the Breakfast Club before, but I've never been on there. That's the thing. A lot of you had a lot of opportunities to do things with your quote unquote words. And I think even Umar accused him too. He took my everything. He's listening to me. Like, okay, if he's listening to you and you still haven't done nothing with it and you're not doing the numbers he's doing, then why is it that you need to look at yourself instead of attacking that brother? And it's not about Kevin's content being right or wrong. I just don't like watching what I'm watching, and then trying to use black women's name to come up here and talk about you doing something noble for black women by coming at Kevin Samuels. No, you're not. You just jealous and got that crab in the barrel mentality because of that man's numbers. And this is why, and I don't understand how somebody like Umar would even pull that when you sitting up here know better. He knows better. He knows better than that. He knows. He knows. But I'm going to go there. When a black woman came to him to ask for help for her son, oh, I'm going there. Because I have no reason to hold that back because it's public knowledge. What he ended up doing, instead of being a professional doctor as he should be, he ended up fooling around with a conscious stripper. Oh, we remember that, right? We remember that. We talked to the woman, right? Years ago to hear her side of that story. Now, a professional would say, even if the woman, he said, well, the woman came on to me. Let's say that happened. And he's just completely innocent. Professionalism say, no, sister. That's one thing I cannot do. I cannot cross a professional boundary like that. If I'm helping your son, that's something I just refuse to do because it's a conflict of interest. It's not in good integrity on me. And I'm celibate right now because that was the thing at the time. He said he was celibate. So your track record talking about black women. Now you're supposed to be the champion of black women. It just don't make sense to me. No, it's not about black women. It's about crab in a barrel mentality about another brother. We see too many brothers trying to destroy other brothers. The reason why black men can't work together a lot of times, especially as black men start going up, is because of that reason. The reason why black men get so isolated and alone, They would love to work with their brothers. We would love to. You look at the white YouTubers. They could collab all day. They be getting numbers, getting deals all day long. I watch them, and they be getting numbers. A lot of them white YouTubers be getting numbers. And you don't see them all attacking each other because of that reason. They got their little beefs, and I've seen it here and there, and that's fine. Let them do them. I don't care what they do. I'm talking about what we do as our community. How come it can't be more than just one person getting attention, right? Why can't it be more than one person doing numbers? It's enough room for everybody in this space. It's enough. If you want to be conscious and Pan-African, it's a room for that. If you want to talk about dating and relationships, it's room for that. If you want to talk about sports, if you want to talk about, food, if you want to talk, whatever you want to talk about, it's enough space for that. Because let's say if somebody was talking about food and they start getting the same numbers all of a sudden. Oh, well, I was telling people about the way to eat a long time ago, and he must have listened to me. Seriously? It's enough space for everybody. And using black women as your cause, when you know good and well is jealousy because there's a spirit behind it. I've been watching too many videos like that. I think that's a shame. If you disagree with Kevin Samuels on what he says about dating and women, okay, fine. He put it in the public space. Go ahead and disagree with it. But what I'm saying is none of this is noble. And it's just piling on a brother who's been talking that way forever. Why y'all didn't talk about Kevin a year ago? Why? He been talking like that. No, it's not about Kevin and what he's saying. It's the fact is you seeing the numbers, and that's what it is. So to sum this up, it's jealousy. Crabs in a barrel. You can lie and say it's not, but I've seen this too much. I've been through it and still deal with it in my platform. I just don't pay attention to you. I laugh at it. I go on and say, man, we got work to do. And that's the truth. We got work to do. We ain't got time for that, because one thing the subscribers want and people that like you want is what's the next piece of information you're going to present. They don't care about any of that. But this channel, I can talk about those things. But let me know in the comments, do you really believe it's a noble cause, or do you agree that it is crabs in a barrel and they just coming at that brother because they mad about his numbers, his live streams, his super chats, and anything else that he's getting? Because that's just my assessment. That's all it is to it, because if you had so much of a problem with the brother, you'd have been saying something about him a year ago.